Hello and welcome to A Few Minutes With. Today I'm talking to Corey Dunne, Principal Architect and co-owner of Dunne Kozlowski in Chicago. Corey's going to chat to us about seating in restaurants. Hi Corey, what are some common mistakes you see when people are designing the seating for a restaurant?
So one of the problems that we see in restaurants is a lack of variety. And generally speaking, we find it more successful when you provide a variety of experiences for a variety of users.
Do you do that with different types of chairs, for example, or different configurations?
So another one of the strategies that sometimes we'll employ is maybe we'll only do two or three different types of chairs throughout the restaurant, but we may put two or three different fabrics onto a specific chair. That way you can mix and match flexibility as far as party sizes. You bring in a party of 12, you can pull chairs from different tables, but then still gives you that aesthetic of when you walk in a dining room, it's not just the same chair over and over and over again.
Do you use the seating, the chairs, the tables, to create intimacy or zones or even bring energy to a space?
We do, and it is one of the easier and more cost-effective ways to break down the scale of a space. Obviously, there is efficiency in a dining room, a larger dining room with multiple zones within it. And so seating is one of the, both seating and tables is one of the ways that we will help define and break down the scale of a larger room. And again, we may create areas. So off onto one side, maybe we may look at more booths and banquettes, whereas on another side, we may look at more loose furniture, tables and chairs. And really, it's done with the strategy of not only breaking down the scale of room, creating a variety of experiences, but then also it gives the end operator a little bit of flexibility. A banquette is more flexible than a booth. Loose tables and chairs are more flexible than a banquette.
What about that bad table that we've all sat in, Corey? That table right by the bathrooms, people walking by you constantly. Do you prefer to not put a table and seats there, or do you make that the star of the restaurant?
So our strategy is when you have an area like that, you really need to commit to it. And what we like to do is we like to take that last leftover table and actually make it something very interesting and give it its own personality so that when people do get sat there, it's this unexpected moment where you feel it might be something that's more intimate or maybe it's elevated. And there's a couple different strategies on how you can dress that table up. But if you're going to have it, you need to commit to it. You need to make it its own experience. You need to elevate it so that people actually desire to be in that table. And so what we like to do is we like to take that liability, if you will, and turn it into an opportunity.
Would you elevate that with something like a special light or maybe higher back seating or a nice tabletop?
Going to a high back chair is a great way to focus that energy within the table, and it gives it that nice intimate setting. And so there was a restaurant that we had done where it was a very tight footprint in the dining room, and but we also needed to maximize how many seats that we could get into it. And so we actually did a row of two top tables down the middle. The downside is there was circulation paths on both sides of the table. And so to really make it intimate and give that unique experience, we went with high back chairs. And it actually turned it into be very desirable tables and very energetic. Uh, Light fixtures are another way to really anchor a table and give it a special experience and doing something decorative. So it could be a chandelier over a table or a pendant. It can also be done with sconces on the wall. But to really give it its own focus, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. You could even do it with artwork. That's another way to do it, or window treatments, getting some shears and draperies in. There's ways that you can frame the view where you can get it to feel special, but still connected to the energy of the overall room.